Buenos dias, comunidad de regular. Good morning, regular community. I wanted to make a quick video and show you guys what fifth grade is doing for our Google Classroom and how we can hold kids accountable, see the work they're doing, and then check the quality of that work. So let's begin with our landing page. We took off our Google Meet link here. We learned very quickly that students can keep going into that link even if a teacher is not there. That was unsafe, so we removed that from our landing page. Every day they have a new class video link that has a corresponding nickname to it so that they can't enter the room until a teacher who created the meeting is already inside the classroom. We've also made sure Mr. Weller, Ms. Nodebart have been in our meetings. Anyone is welcome to join. And we've made sure that an adult is the last person to leave the room so that there aren't just students still within that. Every day we post a new link and a new agenda. Sometimes there'll be questions that they'll answer, that they'll think about so they're ready to answer as we start the wraparound and create attendance. Okay, on to classwork. Here's week 2. So you might be wondering, what are students responsible throughout the week? Within week 2, here's the little log here. This part will improve. We'll have resources, supplemental activities, and different categories, but we're not quite there yet. In week 2, you see a few different assignments. Let me get rid of that they are responsible for. So here's an English writing prompt, Spanish writing prompt. Here's the slideshow. We literally practice them opening up an assignment, writing their name on it, and turning it in because students hadn't necessarily done the turn-in part during the year. So some students were saying that they had done the assignments, but they forgot to turn it in or something. So we spent a Google Meet just practicing that. Here is our read aloud. It corresponds to a online quiz that we give. They will be receiving a quiz on chapter 7 today or tomorrow. Here is a version of our registro de lectura that they are responsible for. We'll look at that in 1 second. And so here are our writing prompts that we have for the students. And you might be wondering, how do you see that these writing prompts are the progress on them, or how do you check to see that things are being done? When you click that, you see all your students here. This has an arbitrary number of 100. We're going to be changing that as we need to, depending on the assignment. But here you see your students who have turned it in, who have answered it. And here at the very bottom, you will see that the majority have not yet. So you can click on a student. It opens up to their individual assignment. It tells us that it's turned in. You can give it a grade right here. If you want, you can click the kebab and edit the grade. You can change whatever you want the grade to be worth. Give it a grade, 100, great. You can comment directly on this just like you would a Google Doc. And then you might say something like indent, comment, and then they'll be able to see that on their end. So now I know that Jackie has turned it in. It looks sufficient for a week 2 of distance learning, and then we put the grade there, and then everything will get tallied at a different place. So if we go back, here's the writing prompt. We already got that. Here's the registro de lectura. Here we gave students some options. You either do your assignment in Seesaw or you do a traditional reading log, and we have the instructions right here. File, make a copy, rename. All right, moving on to our slideshow. Within week 2, you'll see that we have a slideshow. This week, we don't really have much that students have to add or change within the slideshow. We did that week 1, and we didn't see too much engagement there, so we're going to keep tweaking it. But walking you through our slideshow very quickly. If you want to see more, I'm happy to do it individually. But we have our daily schedule. We have our Minuto Consciente. And then we have some mindfulness activities. We have links to our Google Meet, a reminder that if you missed the meeting or you're very late, you can find it uploaded to our 5th grade YouTube subcategory in the Wriggler Remote. Our agreements to the Google Meet. That's helped us get started pretty quickly. Now, what are they responsible for? In lectura, not only do they need to read 30 minutes a day, and that's the minimum expectation, they also have 3 different seesaw activities that are linked here that will send you to the individual seesaw activities. But it's recommended they can click on them and see what they are, but when they log in through Clever, they'll see the assignments within their landing page as well. Here is what they're responsible for. Escritura. They not only do they have to do the 2 writing prompts that you saw in the original Google Classroom page, but here are some other options for writing prompts. We don't have a good idea of how to get these going quite yet. It hasn't been very successful these first 2 weeks, so this will be tweaked. But we also have we have another area of engagement with seesaw activities. There's 3 different seesaw activities here, and we'll track progress on that in 1 second. Here's a reminder of what your expectations are. Math, everyone knows they have to do 30 minutes a day of ST Math. But here are 2 other activities about creating a math routine, and this one is a fun fraction robot activity in Seesaw that they're also responsible for. So going through, here is different resources. It's not very fun, and no one would want to click the link based on that, so we'll improve that, add some images and things. And here is something we're constantly building: the extra fun stuff, the independent activities, the supplemental work of maybe specialist. We'll go here. Here's a digital escape room. Here's the parent resources that we're going to continue to add to so that parents can find resources in English and Spanish. Right now, it's not very built up. It's just that. Okay, let's check Seesaw work because there's a lot of things that students are responsible for. We created our own class. It's called Mr. G's Distance Learning. It has all the students dumped into it. Some of the students you can see are not fully in the classroom yet, so we're working to fix that. But you can click on an individual student and you can see the work that they've done. So for example, August has turned in 4 things. Last week we had 3 assignments due. So this week he's done 1 out of maybe the 5. So we'll check in with him today during the Google Meet, all the students, and see what is missing or how we can help them be successful. So it's not perfect right now, but it's a start, and we found that there's a lot of engagement around the Seesaw activities. They create their own little videos, and then so you can click on an individual student, and so I can say, Alexander, you've done 3 Seesaw assignments for the week, and then I can go to our tracking, and then we can keep track of attendance throughout. We can keep the total for the week, check in with parents about students, and then we'll log how many of the activities they did throughout the week, and then we can see the amount of work they're doing, and then quickly but surely we can check in on the quality of that work. All right, that's where we're at right now for 5th grade, on top of all the other things that I'm sure you guys are all doing, checking with families, groups, and all that. But this is what our learning environment looks like. If you have any questions, please let us know. We're happy to help. All right, see ya.